Hi there, I am DKO and today I am bringing you my first ever Classic WoW video. My letter to Classic WoW. So to get started, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I've been playing World of Warcraft since Mr. Pandaria. I first started. My mate from school got me into it and have a look back. I played all the way to about Shadowlands-ish, where the game started getting a bit too convoluted, for me anyway, in my opinion. And when 2019 Classic re-released, it was bloody fantastic in my eyes. I thought that was exactly what I was looking for. I never got to play during original release because back in the day we only had one home PC for everyone, and my mum thought it would bring viruses and stuff like that. So such is the times. So when 2019 Classic came out, I was definitely on it. I was hooked. I was waiting for it. I was researching all the videos, etc. And yeah, it definitely delivered. I'm also currently playing now during TBC. I'm with a really good guild. We're speedrunning at the minute, and I've always played Paladin. I'm a Paladin main through and through. I'm a prop Paladin for that guild, and we're doing really well. Really enjoying TBC. I know it's the third or fourth time if you've played before, but in my opinion, I'm really liking it. Really enjoying it. Focusing on speed and just having good fun. But anyway, that's enough about me and into the meat of the video. This is my letter to Classic WoW. First off, I would just like to say thank you to this game. Thank you to World of Warcraft as a whole, not just Classic, for the great memories it's given me, the fantastic times, and the great people that I've met throughout the way, good and bad, of course. But just as a whole, thank you. Thank you to the dark times this game has carried me through. And I'm sure there's been many, many times we've all had dark times in our life, and you look for an escape as such, myself included, many times. And this game has something that I can't really describe, something that this game can just put you into a great escapism. It really does take the pressures of real life away, and obviously that's not always a good thing sometimes. But when you need it, it's there, and it really does help. So I'd like to say thank you for helping me through the bad times, especially during COVID. I'm sure we all experienced many hard times there, many hard nights, and I was there grinding away. I think I actually made my first 1,000 gold, get my epic mount in Classic WoW on my Undead Warrior by grinding Elemental Earth in the Badlands, I believe. And that got me through COVID. I was quite happy. So thank you for the dark times this game has got me through. Thank you for the good and bad people we've met through this game. There's good and bad everywhere, of course. But I would say there's the majority of good in this game. I've met, 75 to 15%. 75 to 25%. Thank you to the times that I've been at school, been at work, and I'm waiting to get home to play Classic WoW. Not many games do that in this day and age, in my opinion. And to have something to do that, I really think it takes a lot. It takes a lot, it really does. And, can't you remember when you were a kid at school thinking, oh, tonight I'm gonna get home and I'm gonna level my warrior. I'm gonna get into Blackrock Depths. I'm gonna get that new piece of gear. And you'd run home from school and the first thing you'd do, all right, mum, straight upstairs on the computer. Not many games have brought me that, or hopefully you as well. And I would just like to say thank you. Thank you for bringing me that. Brilliant. Next, I would like to say thank you to the small little details that this game brings. Such as the fact that you can go to the Dustwood graveyard, and during the day there's some normal mobs there, nothing special, and then you go there at night and now there's zombies everywhere. Small little details like that, like really bring it out, bring it ahead, especially at its time as well. I know obviously now it's probably a bit more, you know, convoluted, but for its day it was so fantastic, and to me even now it's still so good. And also the fact that the game just makes you feel like you're back in the good old days, doesn't it? Just makes you feel like you're back in the good old days, enjoying life. You know, it's raining outside, you've got the weekend off, you've got a little pizza ordered, a couple of beers. Nothing better, nothing better. So there's a certain feeling that this game gives me, and I've just moved to Denmark recently, funnily enough, and in the Danish language there is a thing called hygge, which, you know, kind of translates to cozy in English. But what I would like to say is classic WoW is hygge. One of the many things that make the game feel hygge to me is just that old school feeling. You know, obviously it's an old school game, of course, but there's many remasters and stuff out there now, and to me it doesn't really hit the mark. It doesn't hit the mark like classic WoW does. You know, it's you could say nostalgic, but I never played back then, and it's somehow bloody nostalgic to me. It's just these old school little details. It's the textures, it's the music, the ambience, it's the voice acting, the simple quests, the landscape. I could go on and on about what this game does and how old school it makes you feel, and how much better the old school was, I think. So next I'd like to speak about the social aspect of classic WoW. And what really separates it from other games, I would say, is the guilds and the people, the players, sorry, are a lot more interconnected in my eyes. You know, the fact that you have one server, for example, and all these players are leveling up at the same time, and you know, you do have layers and stuff like that, but you recognise names, correct? You might be in RFK with a warrior tank called John, and you know, a month later he's tanking Onyxia for you, and you think, oh, you know, I remember John. You know, you think that's something you don't get in other games. You get that social aspect, that you remember people, and you're going to see other people out in that open world, and that's what I love about this game. Same with the guilds. You know, guilds I think are a lot more important in classic WoW for me, and you know, you kind of need a guild to get you know, to the end game content. You don't have to, of course, but if you would like to, in my eyes, have the best experience, get in a guild, you know, you're going to make friends, you're going to have a good laugh. Trust me, it'll be fantastic. And that is what makes the social aspect totally different and totally stand out for me. And also, people say it's the destination journey, whereas in fact, within classic WoW, it is quite the opposite. It is 100% that journey. You know, the end game is great, don't get me wrong. If you're in a guild and you have some good boys and that, or girls, and you're having a good laugh, it's fantastic. However, especially classic WoW, not so much TBC, etc., but classic WoW, it takes, you know, a considerate amount of time to get from 1 to 60. And you meet so many people through that, the gear upgrades, the going from, you know, Elwyn into Westfall, into Dustwood, you know, that there's nothing that even comes close to it. That leveling period from 1 to 60 is unprecedented, honestly. I think nothing gets to it. Even if you've never played the game and you want 1 to 60, I guarantee you'd be hooked by the end of it, because the game is so endearing. It's just got so much charm, you know. If you took the time to sit there, read the quests, have an explore, level up your professions, you know, do a couple of dungeons, make a couple of friends along the way, see some people that you're going to see in raid in a month or two time, and just the leveling experience, especially, you know, I'll take a human for example. You start in Elwyn, then you go to Westfall, then Dustwood, you know, just that trio, 1 to 30, I tell you, it's got to be one of the best gaming experiences for me ever, hands down. You take in all that charm, that old school MMO RPG vibe. It's fucking brilliant. And another point, just to touch on briefly, is the game's way to help with mental health. You know, I'm sure we've all had mental health problems. It's quite rife in 2026 all over the globe, and I think this game has, you know, a way of helping, not curing of course, but a way of helping, and it really does give you that bit of peace and solace. You know, it takes your mind away from things, really gives you a bit of peace, a bit of well-needed peace to me. So there's many great things I could sit here and waffle on about classic WoW, but of course there's good and bad in life. There's always balance, light and dark, you know. So to move on to a bit of the more, not negative, but a bit of the worser, if that's a word, points in my letter. You know, to start with the obvious, we have the bots problem, ruining the economy, really ruining, I think, the outer world for other people. You know, you're running around and you can look at some things and you think, oh, it's going on there. You know what I mean? And, you know, your spidey senses are tingling and you think, that's got to be a bot. And you can watch them for a while and, you know, it's not right. And especially with TBC, obviously you have the Man Tombs and the Steam Vaults, I think, you know, instanced dungeons where the bots can just continue, you know, out of everyone's eye, essentially. And, you know, Blizzard really need to crack down on this, especially for Classic Plus, because, you know, I don't want to see it in Classic Plus, and I'm sure you don't. I think that's definitely one of the key issues to me going forward. So another slight point I would like to improve on is the fact that the game is quite daunting for new players. You know, I've tried to get my missus involved in the game. I've tried to get my friends involved in the game, and because it's been going for so long, there's not so much Classic WoW, but especially retail. The amount of fluff that's around it is just too much. You know, it's too much to just put a new player in. And Classic is definitely better in that way. As in, you know, it's right from the start. But on the contrary to that, it's quite slow. Whereas retail is quite fast, and, you know, everyone with their TikTok brains nowadays needs instant fucking dopamine. But with the classic side, I don't want to take away from the charm at all. That's not the point at all. But there needs to be something that can kind of ease players in a little bit, because think about it. If you're a new player now and someone said, LFM DM, and you're a new player, you wouldn't have a clue. Obviously that means Dead Mines, but obviously some people say VC Van Cleef. But you wouldn't have a clue about this terminology, and that only comes through, you know, years of experience, really. Same as me, and probably the same as you, watching or listening. And I don't want to take away from the charm of the game, but I feel there needs to be some sort of help towards these new players and entice more players in, because we want new players, you know, the more players the merrier in my eyes. So that's definitely an issue to me. And sorry, just add into that as well, you know, the mechanics and the toxicity as well. Sometimes, you know, you can come into a brand new game like WoW Classic, you know, you've got over the slow leveling, the grind, you've started to feel the charm, you think, oh yeah, it's pretty good actually, yeah, I'm quite enjoying myself. And then you get into a dungeon and then you die to a mechanic that, you know, you never played it, you don't know. And, you know, the tank is like, oh, what are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Like, you don't know what you're doing. Like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing because I'm brand new. And there's so much, you know, not all the time, but there's a lot of toxicity in the game. And that's definitely one thing that I'd like to wipe out, because, man, it's a game. I want people to enjoy it. I want people to come into Classic WoW, you know? And I just think that is definitely an issue that we need to address. And I think as a community, we really need to come together and try and do better for the new players, you know? Try and look out for the new lads, because we're all new at one point. You know what I mean? It's like driving. You're all new at one point. You look at the lone driver and you think, God, what's he doing? But you're all there at one point, man. All there at one point. So we need to look after each other and really bring together this community, especially for Classic Plus. So I'd just like to say, if you're a new player and you've maybe never played Classic WoW and you're watching my video, I really would push you to try, because there's so much goodness coming with Classic Plus, etc. I know it's not officially announced, but I think we all know. We all know it should be coming. Really give it a go, man, or girl. Really give it a go, because it's such an endearing game. It's charming, and once you got over that little hump, I think, of the pace of the game, you will really appreciate what this game is and how much joy it's going to bring you. I promise. And so, in summary, I've given some good points. I've given some bad points. I've basically just waffled on about Classic WoW and what I want to see, hopefully, for the future. And basically, I just want to spread love and positivity within the scene of Classic WoW. Get some new players in and just enjoy the game, man. Just enjoy the game. So that is my letter to Classic WoW. And I hope you enjoyed it. So thank you all for watching. I hope you stick around, because I've got a lot in the bank. I've been thinking about this for a good few months now, and I've been planning some ideas and some next videos, so there'll be a lot more to come from me. So if you like the video, give us a like and subscribe. That would really help me bring out more videos and hopefully go get better going forward. So thank you all for watching or listening. I hope you enjoyed the video, and you know, leave me a like, comment, subscribe. If you've got anything to say, leave it down in the comments. Let me know. I'll be sure to reply to you. There's a lot more coming as well, so I've got it all quite a bit in the bank. Mind bank ready to come out, and yeah, stay tuned, guys. There's going to be a lot more coming from me, and thank you very much. Cheers.